Okay, welcome back to another episode of Amazing Kitchen. Today we're doing something a little different. So it's my first. It was requested by one of my subscriber, and he asked when would I do a Q&A session. And I thought about, yeah, it's about time I should do one. So okay, so today it is. We're not gonna do any cooking today, but that's fine. We'll be talking a lot about cooking and a little bit about myself. Sure. So let me give you a little bit of a background information of myself. I grew up in the kitchen because my dad was a chef, so I learned to cook from a very young age. So it almost became second nature for me. And then I developed the passion for cooking later on in my teens, but I always loved the taste of food. Just love to try all sorts of food from different culture. I love spicy food. So, I guess my passion of food or cooking came from my dad, and I'm happy because it makes me happy that I'm able to make other people happy when I cook a dish, when I'm able to show them how my recipe is, if I'm able to touch some heart with the taste that I'm sharing. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. So let's move into our questions. Sorry if I pronounce your names wrong, if they're not pronounced correctly, but forgive me for that. So our first subscriber asked, Adib mouhanna. He asked, what is your favorite movie? I thought about it sometime because I have a lot of favorite movies, but one that I kept watching over and over for many years is Shawshank Redemption by Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. It was made in 1994, but even today when I watch it, I still love it. The storyline is great. Just watching how they lived their life in jail and eventually how they got out and became free. So it's a movie that is very, I don't know how to describe, but I love watching it. So if you don't know this movie, you should search up on it. It's called Shawshank Redemption. I'll leave all the questions and answers in the description. So if I'm not pronouncing anything clear, you can always refer back to it. So yeah, that's my favorite movie. But I have a lot of other favorites. But this one is by far, for years over, I keep watching it over and over, replaying it, and I still love it. Yeah. So that's for that one. Okay, let's move on to our second question. This one was asked by our subscriber by the name of Farhana Muhammed. Okay, the question is, what is my best dish made by me? Okay, I made a lot of dishes over the years, but if you're talking about Amazing Kitchen alone, I think my favorite dish that I made was called the baked lobster fried rice. It is something that I grew up with because my dad made it. I always thought it was very tasteful and it's very complicated to make. It's something very unique you don't find everywhere, and I just like the taste of it. It's something different from the usual, boiled lobster or steamed lobster or stir-fry lobster that everyone is used to when they're talking about lobster. But this baked fried rice lobster is something a little out of this world for me. So I thought this one was the best dish I've made and the one that impacted me the most. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can always refer back to our previous videos and look for baked lobster fried rice. That one is just out of this world, It's a fried rice that is all put together nicely in just one plate bite, It's neatly put together. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So make sure you check it out. Yeah. And let's move on to our next question by Stephanie. So she asked, How do you know if the fish is fresh? So she wants to know how to choose fish. How do I tell if the fish is fresh, and what do I look for? And what type of fish do I like? Okay, let me answer the first two questions. They correlate first. So how do you tell if the fish is fresh, and what do you look for? So first of all, fresh fish, make sure when you're selecting a whole fish, you look at the eye, make sure it's translucent, moist, and it's a little bulging, so there's no murky or cloudy look to the eye. It's crystal clear. That means that the fish is fresh. And then you also look at the gills. Make sure the gills are red and pinkish, not dark purple color. It signifies that the fish has been dead for a long time. So when it's fresh, it should be red or pink, bright in color. And also, when you poke the fish skin, it should be very bouncy. So when you poke the fish, it should not leave an indentation. It should just bounce right back quickly. It shows that the flesh of the fish is still fresh. And the most popular one that everyone knows of, make sure you smell the fish. I know, sometimes it doesn't smell very nice, but that's very important. So make sure there's no foul odor on the fish. There may be a little fishiness, a little fresh smell of the sea on the fish, but that's fine. Every fish has a different smell, but there should not be any foul odor on the fish. If there's any odor of any sort, or there's slime that is unusual, you want to avoid a fish like that. So yeah, I mean, that's basically how quickly you can look at a fish and look for those points to find if the fish is fresh or not, if it's worth buying or not. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What type of fish do you like? So what type of fish do I like? I like fatty fish. Generally, I like fish that are richer in fat, so such as salmon and codfish. I love those fish. It's very oily. Some people don't like it because once you cook it, the oil comes out. It has this oily taste to it, as well as this stronger, pungent fishiness. Some people don't like it, but I love it. I don't like the dry fish. I like it moist. So maybe that's why I like fatty fish. The fatty fish keeps the fish flesh moist. So when you bake it or steam it or whatever, it's always nice and juicy. I love to bake my fishes, so therefore it's the perfect type of fish to use. Because when I bake it, the flavor in the fat is all released and it drips all over the flesh of the fish, and I just like the taste of that. You know, some people don't like it, but yeah, fatty fish is probably my favorite choice. I eat other types of fish, mostly fillet, but salmon and cod is something I always look for on any menu, anywhere I go, or even for myself. I cook at home. Just today, I had cod at home, and I just love it. It's great. I also did a cod episode. If you like codfish, you can also check that out. Very simple recipe. So yeah, I hope I've answered your question sufficiently. And let's move on to the next one. Now this one is very, I wouldn't say typical, but I guess for anyone that cooks, people would like to know, what is my favorite cooking utensil? I guess you would ask that to every chef, every home cooks, and because everyone has their own favorite utensil in the kitchen. For me, is the wok. Wok is my favorite, and the reason why is because, let me show you. This is a wok, in case you don't know what it is. It's this nice round deep dish. This one is a stainless steel, so it's even better. It's very heavy, so it holds the heat very well. Why I like a wok? It's very versatile. If you have to choose one utensil to have at home, one cooking utensil, the wok does it all. A wok can stir fry, can steam, can boil, can deep fry, can pan fry, can stew, It almost can do anything that you can think of that you need in the kitchen. You can almost smoke your meat in it if it's high enough. It's very versatile. I use it the most. If you look at all the past videos I've made, I think I use wok in a lot of them. And the reason for that is the wok is just so versatile. Like I say, if I want to make fried chicken one day, I just pour the oil in, deep fry it. The next minute I pour the oil out, it's already coated and I'm ready to stir fry my next dish. I don't have to wash anything. Then once it's done, I add some water in to clean the wok, but I can steam right after that. And once that is done, my wok is clean. I use the wok to deep fry, then to stir fry, and then to steam. And all of that is done without washing the wok once. It's not needed because it's all food and it's all fresh food. So yeah, I mean, I hope I've answered your questions sufficiently. So in the future, I think I'll have more episodes like this. This is the first that I've done. I think it's pretty interesting. I love to answer more questions. So if you have more questions, feel free, just submit them for my second Q&A. I don't know when that will be, but once I collect all my questions, I'll do another Q&A session. So yeah, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. And for those subscribers that are already on the list, make sure you hit the bell button so to be notified anytime I have a new video out. So yep, until next time, I think we'll see you again. Bye now.